as the Allies advanced across Europe, accommodation was needed to house prisoners of war. And a camp was set up in Alfred's Lane, almost opposite the Balfour's football ground. It was used at first to house Italians, later Germans. Rude children would stand for hours staring at them through the fence, shouting insults. The prisoners were sent to work in local firms, but towards the end of the war, things became more relaxed, and not unusual to see prisoners of war that would be considered in that hands to enemy. One local lad remembered his father commenting with admirable fair-mindedness. There's no hard feelings, they can go where they want. However, we can qualify this with, but they'd better not come into my pub, because I won't dare to find him. In Germany itself, one Slavic soldier was most surprised to encounter a young woman possessed of an encyclopedic knowledge all the time. She had been specially trained and educated so that if Hitler's invasion plan succeeded, it was she who would have marched up the steps of Slavic Council House and taken over as commandant. Chilling thought, indeed. I think the pain of ordinary people caught up in the extraordinary events of the Second World War is best summed up by a woman who recalled an April day in 1941. She remembers the farmer was digging the back garden, and she quotes her words, he was planting the parsley as it was Good Friday. As he was digging the ground, he found a child's hand. I don't think I've ever seen a man cry as much as he did then. This man was an air raid. A few days before, he had helped to bring out the bodies of his neighbour, Sarah Kent. Her 6 children aged between 6 and 18, and her pregnant teenage daughter-in-law. All of them had died together. Hyde Park Road in the most terrible of all the air raids answer. Yes, in there had been a sense of unity and of comradeship that simply could not exist in other circumstances. One employed Tanguy's engineering company, reflected on quoted on it. The memories of those nights are not only of air raids, but of warm fellowship between those on duty. We got to know and appreciate each other in a way which had never happened before. Many will remember the exhilaration of nights on fire duty when they'd forgotten the times of weariness and anxiety. For most people, the war in Smethwick was spent in overalls, sleeves rolled up at the workbench, working 12-hour shifts and 7 days a week when necessary, turning out the hardware so vitally needed by the Allied forces in securing victory. Monstrous ambitions of a cruel and evil political system. From their earnings, the workforce in Smith contributed to more than £8 million raised in the town for the National War Bonds campaign. Now, when you think of what a week's wages was in those days, even the enhanced earnings of those, goes to show how they responded to the appeal national savings made. Britain was standing alone in September 1940. The appeal said, all we have and are is in bold in the outcome. It is a crusade to preserve our freedom and all that makes life worth living. This would not be a truthful account of the war years, however, if I made no mention at all of the selfish and irresponsible behaviour of some presidents. Many telephones reports to the magistrates' courts would reveal the names of those who looted bombed out premises or shirked their compulsory fire-watching responsibilities, who cheated the rationing system, who were drunk and got into fights in public air raid shelters. 8th of May 1940. The bells of Smethwick Old Church, stilled for so long, rang out the most joyous message in all their history. The war's over. Yes, peace lay once more on the land. Effigies of Hitler were paraded, one along the High Street in a handcart, and another in Union Street. Must have reflected the feelings of many people, as he was represented with a sword through the heart. And on a wall in Middlemore Road, someone had chalked, "The Tommies have done it again. God bless them." Decorations were up in the streets. The residents partied as never before, with gramophones and radios going full blast and bonfires that melted the tar. Council houses and floodlights, and over Scriventer's cake factory, one of the highest points of land in Smethwick, the Union flag was proudly flown and lit up for all to see. 2 days later, most of the pubs only had mineral water left. The town was practically drunk dry, and that a town with a large brewery. Many men and women of horses who lost their lives in the war, very properly remembered ceremonies of remembrance. The men, women, and children who died here on the home front are not forgotten. On the 10th of April 1991, the 50th anniversary of that most devastating air raid on Smethwick, Smethwick Local History Society unveiled the plaque and held a service in Holy Trinity Church to commemorate it. The names of all the dead were read aloud. Among those present were many of their relatives. It was a very special and moving day, and I believe it helped a little feeling with the bitterness that were visited by Smethwick during the Second War. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out. Which believe, thank you as well for listening to me.
Does anybody have questions for Mary? Yes.
Sorry, it's for us. A bottle of one. A bottle of one, yes. I don't think it is. You know, the one that landed outside the council had to take away and it was said to be moved. Yes, so it's a model to show exactly what what those 5 parachutes held on the landmine. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Yes.
So what was the final toll?
It's impossible to say with absolute accuracy because there were Smethwick people who lived in Smethwick that were killed in their place of work in Birmingham, as well as people who lived in Smethwick and were killed on the site in Smethwick, it would be between 95 and 100 in total of people killed. But of course, there were hundreds injured as well. But it's impossible to say with absolute certainty. We have traced all of those whose addresses were given of Smethwick via the Commonwealth War Graves website. We've made, those are the names that we read out at the commemoration service. Yeah.